So mentioned earlier, Jim Collins, the author, Good to Great, when he looked at the great companies, one of the things he found that they had in common was they were really good about this idea of getting the right people on the bus, the wrong people off the bus, and getting the right people in the right seats. And then all they had to do was figure out where to drive the bus. Well, Collins makes this sound simple, and yet as leaders, we know this is far from being simple. This may be the most difficult thing that we have to do. So I want to spend probably the rest of our time today talking about the idea of how do we evaluate our people? How do we determine who are the right people and who are the wrong people and where do they belong? And I want to introduce to you a tool for doing that. The tool is in your book. If you turn to that next page where it says Welch Grid in your participant guide, Welch Grid. Let me pull this down here. Anyone familiar with the Welch Grid? Anyone seen this before? No. So it comes from Jack Welch. One of you mentioned Jack Welch this morning when we asked about great leaders. Jack Welch introduced this at General Electric when he was the CEO back in 1991. GE was looking for a tool to use to evaluate their people. How do we know who stays, who goes, where do they belong? So they decided the two factors that were most important in making that decision was the employee's job performance. And the term we use for that is effectiveness. And you see that on the horizontal axis of the Welch Grid. The employee's effectiveness, their job performance. And then the second factor for this Welch Grid is on the vertical axis is the employee's alignment to company values. Some people might refer to this as their job behavior. How well are they behaving on the job? Relative to a company's culture, your core values, are they in line with those things? So we looked at effectiveness on the horizontal axis, we look at alignment to company values on the vertical axis, and then we make an evaluation of that particular employee. And so if you look at the Welch Grid, the upper right-hand quadrant, these would be employees with above average job performance and above average alignment to culture. And the term that we use most frequently for these employees, these are our superstars. You've heard that term before, right? He's a superstar, she's a superstar. These are our best employees. These are our superstars, okay? Bottom right-hand quadrant, above average job performance, below average behavior, below average alignment. Term that's used most commonly there in today's world, we use this term very carefully. These are our terrorists. Above average job performance, below average behavior. The upper left-hand quadrant, below average job performance, above average behavior. And the term that we use here, these are our cheerleaders. And then finally, the bottom left-hand quadrant, below average performance, below average behavior, we call these our deadwood. Deadwood. So what I'd like for you to do is turn to the next page in your handout. On the top, it says your team. And I'd like you to think about your employees. If you have employees, if you don't have employees, these could be your contractors, could be your colleagues, your stakeholders, maybe even your vendors, your suppliers. Using their initials, I would like you to plot those individuals on this Welch Grid. Where would you put them today? Are they cheerleaders? Are they superstars? Are they terrorists? Are they deadwood? Where would you put your people today? I'll give you a moment to do that. Again, job performance is the effectiveness on the horizontal axis. Job behavior is the alignment to company values, and that's on the vertical axis. Where would you put your people today?